going today to tell you a true story from the Bible. It's from John 19 and 20. This true story happened right after what you learned yesterday. You learned that Jesus was praying for himself and for his disciples and for you and for me. Well, after he got done praying, people came and arrested him. When they arrested him, they put his hands together and took him away. They put him on trial. But you know what? No one could find that he did anything wrong. Nothing at all. But yet, they still wanted him to die. But you know why they wanted him to die? Because God sent him here on earth to die for you and for me. Well, he got nailed to the cross by his hands and his feet, and he was nailed to the cross. There should be a picture up on your screen. Then after he was nailed there, he died. They took him down and buried him in a tomb. And the tomb should be coming up here. It's like a big cave, and then they rolled a stone in front of it. Well, I was really sad that Jesus died. Jesus was one of my best friends. He knew everything about me. He knew everything I did right, everything I did wrong, all my secrets. Jesus knew everything I had done. And you know what? He loved me so much. He loved everyone he came in contact with. He prayed for me and for everyone else. So, after he was buried in the tomb, I went to go look for him. When I arrived at the tomb, the stone was rolled away, and I couldn't find Jesus. So I ran back to see Peter and told Peter, Jesus is missing. They had taken his body. Peter told the other disciples and ran to the tomb. I ran as well with them. They went in and couldn't find Jesus. They went back to where they were. I stayed in front of the tomb and I cried. Where had they taken Jesus? That's when someone came up to me and they talked to me. And I said, just tell me where they had taken my Lord's body. And they said my name, Mary. Do you know who that was? That was Jesus. Jesus rose from the dead 3 days after he died. 3 days later. So Jesus rose again. I was so happy to see Jesus. It was him. It really was him. And I recognized him saying my name. He knows my name, and he is alive. Boys and girls, do you know that he knows your name too? He loves you very much. Jesus knows each of us by name, and he loves each of us. He remembers what you were thinking and what you were doing, and he prays for you. Remember when we did the handprints yesterday? We don't remember what our hand looks like, but Jesus does. Jesus knows the difference between us and every other person. Jesus died for you because he loves you. I love the song. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Boys and girls, that's so true, that Jesus loves us, and the Bible tells us that. Even though it's hard for us to remember that from day to day, Jesus always remembers it. Jesus knows that he loves us, and we can remember that he does love us. He calls out our name and asks us to follow him. Jesus is a precious treasure and we are precious treasures to him. The Bible shows us the way to Jesus. Eureka! Wasn't that fun, boys and girls, learning that Jesus died on the cross for you and for me, and that he was buried in a tomb, and 3 days later he rose from the dead. And he called me Mary by name. He loves us so much, and he loves each of you, boys and girls. If you love Jesus, have you told him that? Our memory verse today is kind of hard, so we're going to do half of it, but I'm going to read the whole thing. It's John 3:16. It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. Whoever believes in him shall not perish, but will have everlasting life." That's John 3:16. Boys and girls, that means Jesus loved you so much that he came and died for you. And that if you believe in him, you can live with him in heaven someday too. Okay, I'm going to teach you that verse a couple more times, and then I'm looking forward to hearing from you and you saying it. We're going to only do half of it. It's going to be John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." Sorry, boys and girls, that was the whole thing. We'll do half of it. We'll stop, okay? John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son." Okay, let's try saying that one more time normally, and then we'll do some other stuff. John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son." John 3:16. Boys and girls, Mary and Peter and all the other disciples ran to the tomb to look for Jesus. So we're going to run and say our memory verse. John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son." Very good, boys and girls. You did a great job running. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll say goodbye. John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son." Boys and girls, I hope you remember that the Bible shows us the way to Jesus. Eureka! And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye!